Hi everyone, Kevin Kopp here as we continue our ongoing series taking a look inside Temple Athletics' response to the COVID-19 epidemic, and we're joined today by Temple's Senior Associate Athletic Director for Academics and Career Services, Justin Miller. Justin, I know you're busy. Thanks for taking some time to chat with us today.
My pleasure, Kevin.
So, you've got a job that I find daunting and overwhelming under the best of circumstances when you're trying to keep up with the scheduling and the academic success and progress of 500 student athletes. And then you take that and you compound it by now scattering them literally across the globe. Temple makes the transition to online classes, but give us a sense of what work has looked like for you and for your staff trying to manage all of this over the past 4 to 5 weeks now.
Sure. I think I've been using an analogy for the last few weeks about, an aquarium, and we've had this aquarium in North Broad that's had about 500 fish, and we've been doing our best to take good care of them, make sure they're thriving in their environment, water temperature, purify everything we can. What's happened in the last few weeks is that aquarium, that what we've been living in, has been dumped in the ocean. And the responsibility of the advising and coaching staff and administrators to still try to provide that support. It's been a daunting task, but it's one that I've been really proud with the determination from the staff, from the Resnick Center, the students, the resolve to make the best out of this situation. I think it's one that we've been really proud, but it's been a lot. I mean, the transition to online happened fast, and we had to assess technology needs, and we had to, start figuring out wireless needs. It's been a lot, but I think we've got most of the groundwork set up that now we're in a place where we're riding the wave.
So what does that look like now? Take me through, what a typical week would look like for your staff. Obviously, you're managing progress reports. You're now into scheduling for the fall. So now with that shift to online, what physically changes beyond the fact that now you're not all able to get in the same room?
I mean, there's some positive changes that I don't want to lose sight of. That the students, and when we meet with them and they come into our space, there's oftentimes distractions, and they're sitting in a room with 3 other students. And in this environment now, where we're conducting 90% of our meetings through Zoom, much like this, the students are giving 100% attention. So it's one thing that's been interesting. But from a normal week for the staff, it's still maintaining weekly meetings with their assigned caseload of student athletes. These last few weeks have been especially taxing in that they are working on registration with all students. They're also working on not just fall registration, but summer, working through a process where we actually try to project grades out through the end of the semester. So they're touching base with every student athlete, whether through phone, text, all the above. But the traditional work is done through Zoom, where you're meeting with a student, you're helping that student set up what they're doing this week, what's going on in all their classes, confirming they're on top of their announcements and their Canvas pages and all of that, making sure they're aware of their tutor schedules and all the things that we've been traditionally doing. It's just taking a different form. So really, the work hasn't changed tremendously. It's really just how we're doing it.
What's the feedback that you're getting from the students? Obviously, there's so many sudden changes being thrown at them. This is just one. Obviously, there's the cancellation of the sports seasons, including for many of them a sports season that they were in the middle of. But now all of a sudden you go from some of these classes are large lecture halls, some of them are intimate classroom settings, and now you're conducting this all online. What's the feedback that you're hearing from the students about that side of the adjustment to online classes? I was an English major. I think it would have been relatively easy for me, but I'm trying to picture some majors where that really probably does get tough to be doing it remotely.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's not lost on me, and I think luckily Temple as a whole, is they didn't sign up for this. Right? So online learning in this environment, it takes a special person. I heard our athletics director talk about he would struggle, I would struggle. It's a challenging environment. And if it's not a subject specific that works really well, like we have some students who are in chemistry and it's hard. And they just say, hey, I don't like online classes. And that puts them in a pretty precarious situation where they want to hold themselves to a high standard and they're frustrated. So I would say, Kevin, the emotions they're feeling run the gamut from hey, I'm good in this environment. I've got no distractions. I've got no sport. I've got nothing to distract me. My only obligation is school, and now I'm thriving academically. To the other side where this is really hard for me. I don't, whether it's now I have responsibilities. I mentioned distractions, but one thing that, I didn't predict is the amount of home distractions these young men and women have, where now it's, hey, can you do this chore? Can you do this? We need you to do this errand and go grocery shopping and drive this person here. And it's, even in this day of social distancing, it's still something they're experiencing, and it puts them in a tough choice where they have to figure out, okay, how do I balance this? But I think for the most part, Kevin, I would say it's a wide range of things. I would say on the average, the positivity of our students just roll with the punches. I mean, they get it. This isn't in their control. I think they're doing their best to make the most of it. And I think that's something we'll look back on, in months and years, and look at this situation and say, wow, our students really showed who they are. Right? Because this is that old adage of you see who you find out who you are when no one's watching, someone's character. A lot of these instances, no one's watching, and we're seeing some really great results, and it's something I'm really proud of.
Well, that brings me to the question that I'll get you out of here on, which is when you look at the trend line of Temple's academic success over the past couple of years, it has been virtually a straight line pointing up, 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 up. We've seen record GPAs, record APRs. The numbers have been eye-popping, and it's really become, I think, a bragging right for this department as a whole, the academic success that Temple has had under your guidance. And so with everything being so out of the norm, I don't think, I mean, there will still be a cumulative GPA, and there will still be an APR, I'm imagining, but I have to imagine that what success looks like for you and for your staff and for this department is quite a bit different this semester. Have you thought about, once these grades are in and we get to the end of finals and we get through this very unusual semester, what you'll be able to reflect on and say, okay, this was success for us?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really good thing. I've had this question asked a couple times for us. I mean, those who know me well, I am data driven, and I do enjoy the poring over spreadsheets and calculating GPAs and team GPAs and things like that. This is a completely, as you mentioned, a completely new scenario. I think the successes that we'll celebrate will be individualized. Those students who overcame adversity, made the most of the experience, gained something from it. And one of the things we may be able to build off of is some student autonomy. Like, you did this on your own, man. Good for you. You were, this wasn't anyone else. And it's always been that way with Temple, but now you're seeing it. They've only been by themselves. So I think the individual successes are things we will continue to celebrate. I'll still run a team GPA, but will it have an asterisk? Is it going to be like the Houston Astros? I don't know. The university is offering solutions for students with credit, no credit. So there's a possibility we could do really well. But at the end of the day, for me, it's celebrating the success of the students, the 120, 100, whatever it is, 10, I think, students who've applied for graduation who are still getting it done. Those are the things we'll celebrate. And I think obviously we'll just be proud of getting on the other side of this and getting feeling everyone back on campus and getting the love going again.
Absolutely. And Justin, I thank you for your time. And anyone that has been through the Resnick Center on any day, any time during the school year knows that is kind of in a lot of ways the epicenter of Temple athletics. You can walk in there and see 50 to 100 kids representing every different team that Temple's got, and I'm sure you and your staff are excited to get back to that environment again.
Yeah, very much. It's been hard. That energy, that buzz I get with seeing the students just popping in. I'm longing for that, and I look forward to. We've been finding that online. I've hopped in on student meetings. I've said, hey, if you're meeting with a student, Justin I want to pop in. So I've surprised some students and said hello, and it's just an important reminder to let them all know we're here, we're thinking of them, and we know they're gonna do right by this experience and right by Temple.
Well, thank you so much. That is Justin Miller, Senior Associate AD for Academics and Career Development here at Temple. Justin, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Kevin.